We have through our animal oracle spirit deck this message of the dolphin spirit, of this and that are true, and of the moth spirit, which is surrender now. And immediately I felt a sense that you are trying to convince somebody of something that they will never believe or understand. They are stuck in their mindset. They have made their decision. Um, I am getting that this person may have some narcissistic tendencies. That this person, they have themselves convinced that they have the only right answer. And while there may be some elements of truth, they are contorting the truth in such a way that you feel as though you need to defend yourself. You're like fighting to defend yourself, and they're just not hearing you, and they're not going to hear you. And the message here from Spirit is not that you should continue to try to understand their point of view. It should be that you should accept that they're not going to listen to you. They don't want to. They don't respect your point of view. They don't appreciate who you are. You are a source for them. And so, this surrender now message, I see this individual having to wrap up their life with this person. If you are deeply entangled with this person, it might take some efforts. But what you should be doing is trusting the process and allowing Spirit to show you the pathways to get out of this situation. But you have to be prepared for that. So you have to accept first the messages that you're receiving and believe that it is appropriate for you to move forward, to recognize that it's not worth the arguing, not worth your energy. It's not worth the arguing. I want to keep saying that it's not worth the arguing. It's not worth trying to convince them. If you've never heard the term gray rocking, I'm hearing gray rocking. So I want you to look that up and understand what that means. It means that you elicit no emotional response and you allow no emotional effects to take place from that person's words until you can get out of that situation. And with our surrender card, Spirit is asking you to trust that Spirit is trying to protect you from something much worse. Spirit wants you to let go so that you can be released from this situation, and you will find freedom once you escape this trapped situation that you're in. It's going to take some effort, but Spirit believes that it can guide you there. The second pull for Spirit collective messages is very much in alignment with that first message. There is this feel of releasing, of taking a deep breath and letting go, of recognizing that there is a situation here that you are trying to appease, that you are trying to people please. I'm hearing dimming your light, dimming your shine. I'm hearing eggshells. You're walking on eggshells for a situation, and you deserve so much better. There is never a time when it is okay for another person to ask you to be somebody else for them. If they aren't seeing you for the value that you have, you're not meant to be in this situation with this person. I'm hearing for some of you, this includes family. This is family in some situations, which makes it very hard. There is years and years of therapy that I've been through to recognize that it was my family that had broken me down before any other person had ever had the opportunity to do so. It was brutal to accept that I had hide hiding so much of who I was and not saying so many things and never ever ever trying to take credit for being great, never trying to share my accomplishments, never wanting, and at the same time just desperate for some kind of approval, just desperate for approval. There is so much beauty. We are letting go, we are cleansing, and we are receiving. We are appreciating what the universe is trying to demonstrate to us. It's helping us flow into a state of being that we have never experienced before, because we are releasing all of these other people's expectations that we have placed upon ourselves based on the comments and the opinions of other people. And instead, we are letting our own brilliant, beautiful life force shine. We are allowing ourselves to be all that we are meant to be. And we will become a beacon for those who appreciate and love us, and they will come into our life willingly, voluntarily, and they will not put their expectations and their limitations on you. I've heard recently the very short saying that boundaries are the behavioral conditions that you put on yourself, and rules are what you put in place for other people. Create boundaries for yourself so that other people's rules don't apply. With these previous two messages in mind, Spirit is now asking for me to relay this message to this collective, that it is time for you to embrace your own power. It is time for you to celebrate all that you are, to provide for yourself the things that you need so that you understand what standards of treatment you deserve. Sometimes it takes some self-love and some self-care to go through this process of eliminating these other patterns and habits and creating for ourselves a new type of energy that allows us to really truly feel what feels right. If you are used to certain feelings and you immediately separate from being treated that way, you don't know how to break that pattern. It takes effort, it takes time, sometimes it takes a lot of therapy to discover what it is that is actually normal and healthy. And I'm hearing reclaiming your power has to do with you breaking free and creating a sense of security and stability for yourself, allowing yourself to feel as though you are in control of your life. You determine the standards by which you are treated. You will not settle ever again once you appreciate what it feels like to be who you are. Once you feel this strong sense of balance in your life, once you feel as though nothing can touch you, nothing can ever hurt you again, the first sign of threat, you immediately fight back or walk away. You never allow that again to affect you in the ways that it had affected you before. You would rather be alone and happy in your own energy and in your own space than suffer what you encountered before with this negative treatment from others. It's a difficult pill to swallow. I'm hearing that this is difficult for you to process, that this is going to take some time for you to absorb, to recognize that you have been tolerant for far too long. Spirit wants you to take some time to embrace these thoughts, to think about how powerful you truly are, to claim and accept that energy for yourself, and to walk forward feeling as though you can create the kind of stability and the type of life that you deserve.